Okay, let me start out by giving your name and title as we're putting on the front of everything.
Oh, sure. Dave Edwards, professor at the University of Delaware in kinesiology and applied physiology.
Excellent. All right. How does this conference help you?
Well, I mean, our interests are in trying to get more kidney disease patients physically active. So what's nice about this conference is there's both patients and caregivers here, as well as physicians and other healthcare professionals that care for those patients. So it's a wide group that we can get the word out to, and hopefully try to get more patients active through kind of getting the word out that exercise is beneficial in these patients.
Why do you think patient involvement is so important?
Well, I mean, we can have someone, we develop a treatment, whatever it may be, in this case exercise, and if it doesn't in the end make the patient feel better, improve their quality of life, then they're not going to do it. So we need to understand what they want to improve on and make sure that we're targeting those things.
How do you think we can be better? How can we do better?
I think we can do better by working together. I mean, I think in some cases there's some great care models out there, but from our perspective, we'd like to be able to be part of the chronic kidney disease care group, having an exercise specialist in that group to work with the physicians, the nutritionists, the social workers, and nurses, and so forth. But I think that kidney disease is, as a care in general, is very team-oriented, and I think if we can just kind of get a seat at that table, it would be great.
For you, what would be the sort of ideal situation in sort of patient care and health, the whole patient-centered ball of wax?
From a kidney disease perspective?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
For you guys.
For us, yeah. I mean, I think, again, I think it's about the patient and what they need and want. And I think that patients do feel better, and that can be defined lots of different ways. It could be they're able to do more at home, they're able to walk with a friend, they're not as tired, whatever it may be. So having that part of their routine care, and it's always difficult with insurance and things like that. How do you get that part of their care? But just kind of raising awareness about that, so that maybe when they're in the physician's office, the physician says, "Hey, how active are you? Maybe you should start to get more active," and those types of things, and start those conversations a little bit more.
What do you see as the most important issue to tackle?
I mean, I think the most important issue to tackle related to physical activity and kidney disease is I think that some patients are scared to do it because they just think, I've got this disease, this condition, I shouldn't be doing that. Making sure that they understand that it is okay for them to do it as long as we check with their physician that it's safe. Giving them the confidence to do it, and then eventually turning them loose to do it on their own. And that's really kind of like the goal.
If we look down the road like a year from now, where do you hope we are? Where do you hope we're standing, reconvening?
I mean, a year from now, from an exercise, physical activity perspective, we'll have the renal rehab program will have been going for another year, and we're hoping that potentially there's other places that they feel comfortable going to exercise. Maybe they come to us first, and we can say, yeah, this is the closest place for you to go exercise. We have a relationship with them, and they know how to handle a patient with kidney disease. So we can kind of grow the opportunities that are out there for patients to get active.
Describe a little bit about what your program does and how it affects, in sort of short ball form, how your renal exercise program affects a CKD patient's overall health.
So, I mean, exercise in general, we know there's benefits to blood pressure control and cholesterol levels and so forth, reduces the risk for cardiovascular disease and so forth. So because those patients are at a high risk for cardiovascular disease, there's that benefit. But then there's the more patient-centered benefits of improved physical functioning, whether that be how far I can walk before I'm out of breath, being able to do yard work, those types of things. And then there's the symptoms. We see, it's a small group so far, but we do see a reduction in symptoms that are related to kidney disease. So I think in general there's hopefully some health benefits that maybe patients care about, maybe they don't. But then there's the quality of life, kind of physical function things that I think the patients do care quite a bit about.
What drives you specifically to keep going the whole kidney thing? What got you involved in CKD and kidney health in the first place, and what keeps driving you forward?
Yeah, I mean, my background is kind of in cardiac rehabilitation in that area, and kind of the understanding that kidney disease in and of itself is a kind of risk factor for cardiovascular disease is kind of what got me interested in this area and trying to get folks physically active. And then as you see patients benefit from it, you just want to help more people. So, we've got a great group. Danielle Kirkman is a postdoc in the lab, and the students, they're a great group of folks that really like to work with these patients, and it seems to be working really, really well.
Let's see what else. That's kind of it. Do you have anything?
Oh, just, were you involved in the study from last year, or
No.
is this your first?
No, I was at the meeting last year, but I wasn't part of
What do
the
you
working
think
group.
of Christiana Care and then making this, or is it?
Yeah, that's really the whole, Value Institute,
Value Institute, yeah.
the PCORI project. Sort of, what's your take on this whole entire odyssey we've gone on?
Yeah, I think the patient-centered approach is great. As a physiologist, I always think about like mechanisms, but we can't lose kind of sight of the patient, right? We can improve physiology and understand all that, but at the end of the day, it's really what makes the patient feel better, and whether that is simply just better quality of life, or whether it's being able to play with their grandchildren, whatever that may be, I think is important. So I think this type of meeting and this type of kind of venture is important to make sure that we don't lose sight of that.
Cool.
Have you
That's perfect.
learned anything from what they presented? Have they presented findings and whatnot?
Not a ton, it's more just.
Not really. I mean, yeah,
Talking about the little informational tidbits that,
yeah. There was not a whole lot of that yet.
Is there anything else you'd like to say that we haven't asked you?
yeah, there you go.
No, I don't think so. I'm not usually that kind of guy that likes to just talk.